All right, feel free to start with questions.
Coach, when was the decision made to rest Asia, and can you give a little bit more about her status?
No, I mean, I had talked to her about it after our Florida State game. You know, with us playing UConn on Thursday, it eliminates one of our bye weeks. So normally everybody else in the ACC, except for Notre Dame, because they played at Tennessee, you're getting 2 bye weeks within your conference. Well, now we only have 1. So Asia's been playing a ton of minutes for us. Just knee was a little sore, and I was like, hey, if we can afford to do this, I'm going to set you down for our game on Sunday. And, she still warmed up and did everything because in case, if something would happen where she needed to play, she was able to play. So we're fortunate enough that we came out and jumped on them early, and we didn't have to play her. So just an extra day to rest and recuperate.
As far as the team's performance, you noted that there's a strong start. How pleased were you, or what did you tell the ladies after the game about their performance?
Well, I thought the first half was fantastic. I mean, I was really impressed with us. We gave up 0 second chance points. We gave up 2 offensive rebounds in the first half because we tried. It was actually a game and a half of probably the best effort we put forth rebounding all year. And it was really impressive because it's not, they missed 18 shots in the first half. We're only able to get 2 offensive boards. So we were finding somebody. We were putting a body on somebody. And then in the second half, I guess they just decided to do what they thought was good, our players. And obviously that didn't work out very well. They had 7 second chance points in the third quarter alone. Scored, I think, 4 their first 5 possessions of the third quarter. So whoever decided to try to change things up, it probably wasn't a very good idea. So we're going to have to hopefully break down some film and get them to understand if you want to be great, you can't play the scoreboard. You got to play for 40 minutes, and you got to just keep grinding and keep battling. Now, it's tough, but that's what the great teams do, and that's what I'm challenging our group with.
It was a game where you once again rebounded the opponent pretty significantly for the second time in a row. Are you still emphasizing this in practice with them and seeing it?
Well, we've been emphasizing it all year. It's not like we don't talk about rebounding it every day in practice, Polly. It is kind of part of the game. It's just a matter of how hard do you want to do it, because it's hard work. Yep. You got to be focused. You got to find a body. You got to put a body on somebody. Then you got to pursue the basketball. You got to want the ball more than somebody else wants the ball. And again, for the last game and a half, we were fantastic. Now that second half right there was not very good. So hopefully we can learn from this. I've told the players they're going to watch the game. They're going to come back and give us the breakdown of how they played, what they think they need to work on, what they did well, instead of us doing it to them. Because every once in a while, I think it's good for them to be able to self-evaluate and really look at some film and go, hey, this is okay. I kind of see what they're saying. And then it also helps me, like, Polly, if you write down, hey, I played great the entire time. And then I look at your stat sheet, and I'm like, well, you turned the ball over 12 times. Well, it wasn't my fault. So this is going to be a good thing for us, and hopefully we can continue to build.
Do you get the right of first refusal on their own grading?
Oh, no. I let them grade because I think self-evaluation is a great thing. Self-evaluation is a fantastic thing. Some are good at it, some aren't. It's just as coaches. I tell them all the time, I go, they get upset when we tell them, hey, you want to play like this person. I don't want to be like that person. I want to be me. And I'm sitting there going, when we go to high school games or we watch games on film, if somebody runs something that we think's good, we steal it. Like, we're not naive enough to go, well, that worked for them. Let's not do it here. And that's kind of what we're in a little bit of a battle right now is like, challenge yourself. It's okay to want to be better, to want to be great. And if there's somebody out there that's performing at a high level, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'd like to try to play like she's playing. So we'll see. We're 7-1 right now through the first 8. We've got some great ball games in front of us, starting with Thursday night with UConn here at home. At Clemson, who's playing extremely well, the best ball they've played in the last, 4 or 5 years. Amanda's doing a fantastic job with them. We've got, Miami at home, at Virginia Tech. NC State at home, Syracuse at home. I mean, it's just it's not going to be easy.
Not sure if you were aware, but North Carolina ended up upsetting Notre Dame today.
I did see that.
What does that do as far as opening up the conference? Obviously, they hold the tiebreaker against you, but with NC State still lurking out there undefeated, what does that do for the conference race?
Well, I mean, obviously, it doesn't change anything in our mindset because we're sitting here. We knew, you only get to play some teams once, so we lose at Notre Dame, and it's like, okay, hey, we might not be able to be conference champs, but we got to take care of our own stuff. I mean, NC State's the team right now that's in first place in our league. They're undefeated. So everybody else is trying to beat them. There's so many games in front of us right now that if we start looking at, man, we got a chance to be conference champs, we're going to end up losing 4 of them. So we're more concerned about one game at a time. If we're fortunate enough to be able to fall into that, because we don't control it right now. We got to have somebody else help us again. Last year when we beat them here, we were in control of all of it. Now we're not. So we just got to worry about ourselves, play one game, and then hopefully as it goes through, we're going to be preparing ourselves for a really good seeding in the NCAA tournament as well as the ACC tournament.
Just to clarify, on Asia, did you think about doing that with anybody else? Why her? Was it the knee specifically?
She was just sore. Yeah, she was sore. She's played more minutes than anybody else. So yeah.
You expect her 100% for Thursday?
Yeah.
When you play UConn, how much time do your players spend looking forward to that game?
Well, I mean, I don't think they've thought about it until today. I mean, because we've had so many games to worry about. You just play them one game at a time. We'll be excited. I mean, there's no question that UConn's going to be excited. I mean, it's a big game for both of us. So I'm hoping to be able to get 18,000 in this place and have a great environment, and hopefully we play well and they play well, and it's a great game for women's basketball.
Coach, you mentioned the seedings, and as a logjam at the top of the AP poll with a whole bunch of teams with one loss, and you mentioned this other times. You really have to play for that to get the, like you did last year, to get in. That number 1 seed. So you got a chance coming up here Thursday. Is that planned, all that? Well,
I meid it's a big game, of course. I mean, because it's not a game that's going to affect our conference standings because it's a non-conference game. It'd be a great win if you're able to win. It's a team I think we're like 0-62 against since I've been here. So I mean, there's a lot of excitement about it, but at the same time, no matter what happens on Thursday, we got to be prepared for a quick turnaround and play at Clemson on Saturday.
And you mentioned North Carolina State.
Yeah, I still got NC State towards the end of the year. But it's, if you win Thursday and you go down there to Clemson and you're not focused and you don't play well and you lose, nobody's going to care about Thursday. So that's why I'm a firm believer. You got to be prepared every single game, especially in this league. It's the best this league's been from top to bottom in the 6 years that I've been a part of it.
Coach, to kind of bounce off that, you mentioned playing UConn on Thursday, kind of almost a break in the midst of the conference play. Do you like playing there, or do you prefer a non-conference game like this maybe in December?
Well, no, I mean, it works out for us this year because we do get the 2 bye weeks. So we're able to slide a non-conference game into one of them. But now for next year when we go to 18 conference games, we're not going to be able to do one of these during the conference season because I'm not going to give up my only 1 bye that I'm going to get in January and February to play non-conference games. So if we're able to keep this going with them, we're going to have to play it in November or December. And that's something that we're working on, but it's really tough to find dates around exams and TV schedule and all that stuff.
When you prepare to play against a team like UConn and have the history that you do with them, how much of the game is just pure talent, star power, the raw talent that you're dealing with, and do you feel like in that area that you're closer than it's more even than it's been?
Well, I think, in the past we've had some good teams and they've had some great teams, and you've got to be able to score. When you play UConn, you have to be able to score because they score the ball so well. If you go on a 3 or 4 minute drought, it's game over. And that's one thing. That's why I was really pleased with the first half. We only turned it over 6 times, and then we end up with 18 turnovers. If we turn it over 18, 20 times on Thursday, it's not going to be pretty. And that's one of the things I'm constantly trying to talk to our players about is you've got to value the basketball. So it's, they have great players. We have great players. Now it's a matter of can you put the ball in the basket to be able to stay up with them because they're one of the best scoring teams in the country.
How do you do that? You talked a few weeks ago about recruiting against them. How have you built a team that can score with them as that?
Well, Asia doesn't hurt.
Right.
She's pretty good. Sam Furion's been very efficient. Kylie Shook's been scoring the ball better for us. Erica, has been knocking down the open 3. Dana's been playing well. So, it's just you've just got to go out and find players that can score. It's the one thing about it is every once in a while you'll go out and recruit somebody and say, man, they can really defend. But I can teach you to become a better defender, but it's really hard to teach you to be able to score. If you can't score, it's a long year for you.
Coach, one last question about Asia. Is it her right knee or left knee? Is it just?
I don't even know. I don't even ask those questions. They say their knee's hurting. I'm like, okay, let's see the trainer. Let's take care of it. Now we take care of we have great medical staff, and I really don't know which knee it is. She could have played today. She could have played today if she needed to play, and she would have. But there was, this was an opportunity that we had that we could rest her.
Is it something? Because her shooting has been down a little bit, during stretches this season.
But she was 10 for 16 on Thursday.
Right.
So
the Florida State game not considered, but in other games, there have been times where she's slumped a little bit. Has that?
It's basketball. It happens to everybody. So it's nothing that you get worried about or concerned about. Basketball is a game of percentages. It's always going to be. I laugh with my kids all the time. They sit there and I'll ask them, hey, if somebody's 8 for 8 and they're a 50% shooter, are you throwing them the ball? They're like, oh, yeah. I go, no, if I'm a 50% shooter and I'm 0 for 8, you're not going to give it to me, are you? They're like, no. I go, what percentage is to tell you to throw it to me? Because the odds of me going 0 for 9 are probably less than the odds of you going 9 for 9. Well, then they start thinking, boy, and I get them all confused. That's why I tell them all the time, I go, that's why when you warm up, they all get so worked up. My philosophy was, when I warmed up before a game, if I was making shots, I'm like, all right, it's going to be a good night. And if I was missing shots, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, it's going to be a good night because now I'm going to make them during the game. If you let this stuff get to your mind, boy, you aren't very strong-minded. And that's what you got to be if you're going to play at this level because you have ups and downs. So it makes it fun. Thank you, everybody. Look forward to seeing everybody Thursday, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.